Hi guys, it's Tiani again. Yo, your witch out here giving out messages for people. And today I want to talk about why real magic is rare these days. A lot of, and especially in the Christian circle, it's been very confusing as to why people don't understand how you can mix magic and Christianity. And so I wanted to explain that. My other account is temporarily blocked because I got locked out of it. So I'm actually just using this email instead because you guys might recognize me from another video. Um, so first I want to start off with the Waldensians and the Huguenots. They practiced real Christian magic with back in the days, and this is way back centuries ago during the 1400s. They were persecuted by the Catholics and therefore didn't have the ability to be able to worship as how they wanted to. But see, a lot of times people won't tell you that because history, as per my research, history has shown that for some reason mainstream media really doesn't like magic for whatever reasons it is, or working with the light as we call it in terms of Wicca. And so it's a very complicated process dealing with people when it comes to mainstream media and Christian mysticism, because that's really what it is. Um, so Christian magic is can be different things. Um, it can be like in Freemasonry, people believe in Christian magic, and or they call it Christian mysticism, which is probably a better term for it, since magic comes. The root word of magic is just usually the use of herbs, or I can't recall the exact definition, but you don't quote me on it. But it's about the root of magic with the K at the end is like using like with herbs or like pharmaceutical. It's like pharma. So don't quote me on it, but that's what it is. And the Bible is also quoted. And so therefore a lot of times people think that they're reading the Bible and they see certain things and they think that this is what it means, and so they go for it, they take it literal, which is kind of not intelligent because you have to really understand that the Bible comes from a very metaphorical standpoint of view, and everything in the Bible is not meant to be taken literal, and that's how you're able to understand it, especially when you're rich. A lot of people, how they combine the two is they don't take things literal in the Bible. They look at things from a spiritual standpoint of view because everything wasn't intended to be taken literal. And it's up to other people's point of view and perspective. I won't argue and go on and on about how some people believe maybe Jonah really did get swallowed by a whale, or if everything is literal. And in that case, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say, it's up to your interpretation. However, I do have a few examples later on in the video that I'll be showing with you as to why I believe that the Bible speaks in metaphorical terms, in the large majority of it. And real Christians know that the Bible is coded. But, Christians who have continued to practice the faith for years and years and years, who have been preserved away from a lot of the world wars and the persecutions that were going on during history. A lot of these people do know that the Bible is very largely misinterpreted. Is magic bad from a Christian standpoint of view? Obviously, my explanation is going to be no. Because simply put, it's just that you don't understand. Sometimes you cannot understand certain things, and by studying, you just come to the realization that certain things are just better left misunderstood, or that even sometimes some things in the Bible are interpreted differently based on what religion you're in. So I'm not going to bash someone else's religion just because I see things differently. Everybody has a different perspective on how they would like to view things as far as their religious beliefs. But of course, my opinion is going to be no. The Christian mysticism isn't practiced anymore by mainstream media because of its monetary sacrifices. And I think a lot of times too, a lot of selfishness and greed has caused people to not be able to practice freely like they used to. And from my standpoint of view, of course, it's horrible. You see, I wear a cross. I believe in Jesus, but I believe in him in a different kind of light or a different kind of way, if it makes sense at all. And people say, oh, that's dark or whatever, or it's whatever. I don't believe it is. I believe, like I said, you're free to choose who you want to believe or what you believe. But even then, hey, this is something that is truth and I can buy it. So I believe in it personally because it makes sense to me and it's what speaks to my mind and my consciousness and my super conscious, my heart, my subconscious, my mind, my intellect. There's this one note that I got off of an Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ chapter 55 and 56. It was speaking of Jesus as being a first initiate and how Jesus is a private pupil of the Hierophant. And if you listen to a lot of religious things, or if you're Wiccan like me, or you believe in witchcraft or whatever, you will notice that the Hierophant is actually the tarot card for the teacher, the leader. So you can take that as what you would like to interpret it to mean as what it is, but it says it's taught the mysteries of Egypt. In passing the 7th test, he works in the chamber of the dead, which was a rite of passage back in those days. It says the 7 sages of the world meet in Alexandria. The purpose of the meeting, the opening addresses. In every age since time began have the 7 sages met to note the courses of nations, peoples, tribes, and tongues, to note how far toward justice, love, and righteousness the race has gone, to formulate the codes of law, religious postulates, and best suited to the coming age. So basically what this is saying is that there are people throughout the ages that have been picked by God, by this divine being, and you can choose to say whoever you think that divine being is, but there have been people throughout the line that have been chosen to express the divine will of God. And in essence, they have become divine because they were expressing the will of God, which is changing, shape-shifting their bodies into the actual divine will of the Father, making them the exact appearance of the Father, which makes them equal to the Father. Like the scripture that says, I am me and thou and them, that they may see that I am the only true God, and Jesus Christ himself, and he who hath sent me, or something. And so here you see the possibility of infinite circumstances about to happen here when Jesus comes. And that little small quote just taught me just a little bit by reading the book, and I was so amazed because it spoke about how you can see Jesus was the first like Wiccan associate, or the Wiccan teacher, student, and Jesus was taught certain things, and how different people are taught throughout the ages, different metaphors and different truths spoken very symbolically. And it actually hit me, and I started studying this for a long time, and this is what the conclusion I've come to. And, for some people it might be different, for others, so forth, whatever. But I research what I say. And don't take it from me. Like, actually go back and research what I said. Like, a good website is sacredtext.com. I look at all my stuff from there. And like I said, it has taught me so much. And some of the stuff might be a heavy read, but if you take your time and understand 2 sentences of it, like a day or a month, it comes out better than trying to read the whole thing and not understanding anything at all. So just check out what I say, guys, and read my stuff. And hopefully, my account will be back up so I can post some more videos so you followers can keep getting some daily reads from me. All right, peace out. Love you guys.